Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Distant Stars in our Dynastic Divinity series. We have a colony ship that has just been ordered for this 4th core world. And actually, I just realized, you guys probably said this at the end of the last one, we actually don't have room for a 4th core world just yet, so we'll have to improvise a little bit. We may, in fact, hold off from that. I'm used to having that because I normally go for expansion first. But, I think maybe in my test, that's what it was. In my test play, I did go for expansion first, and so we went up to 5, but in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. You know, I wasn't thinking in terms of that being the reason that I had 5 core systems, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We might go ahead and colonize it just to have it and get some additional resources, but we're going to need to expand our core world count before long, which we might have the opportunity to do. The latest sensory readings from Wiesen showed the star pulsating regularly, but when the crew on HSV Commodore arrived on site, there was no evidence to support this data. While most of the crew are in agreement that the anomaly was caused by sensory malfunction, Bakrig Den Palash discards this theory. He claims to have discovered similar pulsating energy emission patterns elsewhere, and now fears that something strange is happening to the galaxy's stars. He has charted the course to the nearest affected star. We must get to the bottom of this. So we have a new project,
log updated.
and I have seen this in my test play a little bit, this particular anomaly. It didn't have a good ending. Not trying to spoil it, but this is one thing about the anomaly interface they can throw you. They're on different tabs now. And some stuff that you would expect to be an anomaly is actually on the situation log. It's weird. All right, so the habitable world survey is just barely getting started. Let's track this on the map. And oh. Really? That's not a star. That's a black hole. All right, game. Go home, Stellaris. You're drunk. All right, so you're already headed that way. Why don't we go ahead and have you research it, and hopefully what happened the last time I saw this event won't happen again.
System survey complete.
All right, we need to get a starbase built here, but we don't quite have the influence for it. Maybe our factions will stick around for a while. Let's see. I would like... Yeah, let's go ahead and get the mining station built there. Let's clear that energy tile for obvious reasons. That's a nice tile. And then I want to go ahead and get a hydroponics farm built there. Aha! We have an abandoned gateway nearby. An ancient subspace gateway. It's in Bruin Singularity. Has been located near Bruin Singularity. It appears to have been built... I didn't realize that was the next words I was literally going to read. It appears to have been built entirely by microscopic nanites of an unknown design. This particular gateway shows signs of having been altered at some point after its initial construction. Its connection to the rest of the network has been severed. Oh, this is an LGate. Instead, the only valid destination is an uncharted group of stars just beyond our galaxy that has been designated the L Cluster by our astronomers. Although the gateway emits a faint power signature, it has been deliberately locked into some kind of maintenance loop that prevents its activation. Until we find some way of aborting this process, the L Cluster will remain beyond our reach.
Situation log updated.
So let's take a look at this for a moment. So that's the LGate. And we have our science ship flying by it. But I love the black hole effects, by the way. Look at that. You just move the camera. I don't know if you've ever noticed that about the black holes in Stellaris, but they really look quite nice. Accretion disk and everything. So the LGate, you basically have to research different insights on the LGate in order to get access to it. So now that we've found it, we can start looking for those. Okay, so I would like to have this starbase building, but I don't quite have the resources for it yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that, and I want that as soon as possible. But Old Orin, in the meantime, can do some upgrades. Otiriel is actually eligible for the first colony hub upgrade.
System survey.
That's one thing I'll have to keep an eye on.
Special project complete.
Nice! Okay, so this is one of the new dialogues that you see when we discover a special resource. The crew on HSV Commodore has made an unfortunate discovery. Like they suspected, the pulsating pattern... Oh no, this is actually not that. And it is the same... I saw the picture, and it resembles the picture that you see when you discover a new resource, but it's not always that. Dang it. Alright, it was in fact due to a sensory malfunction in Science Officer Bakrid Den Palash's head. Science Officer Bakrid Den Palash has become delusional and is currently under the impression that he is the protector of the realm and that stars are pulsating coded warnings about the coming apocalypse. The crew believes he himself manipulated the ship's sensory data during a psychotic spell. Bakrig Den Palash is now in a medical pod headed back to Old Orin, where he will receive treatment. So the only good thing about this, we just lost a scientist. The only good thing is that we got a bunch of society research. So that'll help us for the next little while, because we have some stored. But we now have to replace this scientist with another one. And to tell you the truth, I kind of... Yeah, see, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that tile clearance so that we can have the ability to recruit a scientist a little bit sooner. I didn't want to do that, but I have to. It's annoying. Okay.
Construction complete.
So in a second, there we go.
The spirits have granted us new
Okay,
wisdom.
once again, we have crystalline asteroids as well. So the factions are going a little bit nuts. I don't know if this is ever going to stop, but we'll have to see how it goes. Hasn't happened in my test play, so it might be unique to this save. But we have completed the research of Xenohydraulic Mastery. We'll take a look at that in a second. Crystalline asteroids. The Vanas system. Where's the Vanas system? I don't know why it's showing us this. The Vanas system is home to an unusually dense asteroid belt that is displaying some unique properties. Several of the larger asteroids are covered in crystalline outcroppings that would suggest the presence of extremely rich mineral deposits. However, long-range sensors are tracking sporadic movement from what appears to be several small objects or possibly spacecraft in the denser regions of the belt. We are unable to get a fix on them, but debris from at least 2 destroyed mining stations can be seen floating in space next to some of the larger asteroids. Something isn't right. Indeed. Oh, okay, it's right here. It's the system we just found, so it doesn't show you until you click OK. Okay, so we can go ahead and recruit a new leader. Let's take care of this. Well, okay, we have this option at least. Baram Den Armark has Spark of Genius. So, tell you what, let's recruit him, and then I want to have Galdrig Den Vakor take over on the science ship. So we're actually going to bring in Baram Den Armark to be our society researcher. And let's research that tile blocker. And then for the science ship, we'll have our available scientist that is already level 3 and has better experience gain take over. So survey, and now I have to renew your orders. Dang it. Okay, we don't quite have the influence to get that station built just yet. Well, that's a shame. Been spending all that time leveling up that science officer, and we just lost them. I think that was our original science officer as well. Yeah, because Sukradig Den Badir was our new one. Impressive structures litter Zukanis Black Hole 2's. Oh, okay, yeah, the planet. Practically begging for some archaeological work. Research, please.
Construction complete.
Yeah, come back and take a look at that. Okay, I'm going to ignore the faction pop-ups for now. I'm guessing it might just be due to fluctuations caused by something that hopefully will have an explanation or resolve itself in another little bit. Protection rackets. Our Unity output is increased by 5% per subject, up to a maximum of 30, so none of these are going to be good, are going to be helpful for us right now. The pops of all your subjects will also count towards naval capacity, that's nice. Income from tributaries increased by 50%. We can go ahead and do that, to where if we get a tributary soon-ish, we'll have that, but we're really just going for this so that we have it when we're ready for it. None of these things are particularly useful for us at the moment. Let's get that starbase built. Alright, Hyperdrive 2 is done. Point defense, probably the next idea, or combat rolls. Let's do point defense so that we can have picket ships. Do we have destroyers yet? No, we don't. We do not. Let's take a look at our stations, though, because I can go ahead and upgrade this station to a starport. Let's do that. And that's, of course, our starbase capacity. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Our colony ship is arriving in Tem, so our income will be affected by this. It's going to be a little dicey. We need to get this upgrade done. I think I'm going to save for this upgrade because we're going to need it. We're going to need this world to be... We need, like, every possible source of income. Once our energy income is a little higher, like from the Betharian power plant, we should be okay. Zukanis Black Hole 2 is uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines deftly chart a history so fantastical it must surely be fictional. Surely. Okay, so let's get the engineering lump sum there. And that helped with our destroyer progress. I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't notice the...
survey complete.
I'm so not used to that. I'm used to having 5. Serves me right for doing something different.
We are spreading our faith to a new world.
What I should say is it serves me right for not paying attention. All right, let's upgrade the colony hub there. And what we really need in as many places as possible is more energy. Finally! Okay, we have an encounter in Nedim. We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Nedim system. These strange objects have been flagged as Upsilon aliens until we can learn more about them. We should proceed with caution. The Divine Ornathi hierarchy has finally encountered fellow wanderers among the stars. Despite their intentions being unknown and potentially even hostile, the atmosphere on Old Orin following the report from our contact fleet can best be described as rapturous. Intriguing. All right, interesting. All right, so where are you? Oh, we got a Gaia world here. That could be a potential holy world. Or we can colonize it, one of the two. Where did we run into someone, though? Oh no, there's somebody here. Is this an enclave? I think it's an enclave. I don't think that's a station, is it? No, that might be an outpost. I don't think that's an enclave. That doesn't look like any enclave I've ever seen. I could be wrong though. So let's go ahead and just survey that and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're going to investigate the Upsilon aliens. The L cluster, we need 7 insights altogether, by the way, to get that resolved. Alright, throne of fire. Alright, we're going to name Tem Prime once it's a little bit closer to being helpful to us. But let's go ahead and get a mining network built there. And let's also put you here. I think I'm going to need to go ahead and put a power plant down because that's going to be the resource that we're hurting on the most. Okay, let's get those
Our
upgrades
ships
done.
have been improved.
How are our upgrades, by the way? Are we good on power? So now we have better hyperdrives on all of our ships. We could go ahead and add afterburners to make our fleet faster. Just have to keep an eye on power because those can drain that resource rather quickly. So let's get the upgrade done
Our
again.
ships have been improved.
A little bit of a waste there because we just did that upgrade, so... HSV Limdor was forced to return to Pesh from Nedim because it is within the borders of Ogi Nalok's destroyers. Oh, lovely! So our first neighbor is called the Ogi Nalok's destroyers. What could possibly go wrong? After successfully translating their language, we've established communications with the Ogi Nalok's destroyers. Diplomatic channels are now open and all hostilities have been terminated. Welcome to Stellaris. Okay, fanatical purifiers right next door. They are fanatic xenophobe. They are militarist, and we're delighted to meet them. Quake and Fear, alien scum. You sound like Anubis from Roman Warriors. Actually, that's Quake with Fear, isn't it? For your doom approaches, the Ogi Nalok's destroyers will cleanse this galaxy of every misbegotten Xeno civilization that pollutes it with their presence. Old Orin shall burn. Oh, really? Love is friendship set to music. Ogi Nalox, let's just say it. Why not? Why wouldn't we? The news that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time is spreading like wildfire throughout the Divine Ornathi hierarchy. Our citizens are fascinated by these beings, and the media is full of reports and speculation on their culture and society. The revelation that we are not alone in the galaxy has largely been greeted with celebration on Old Orin. Just like us, the aliens appear to be relative newcomers on the galactic stage, and their level of technology is similar to our own. That is at least good. This is a momentous occasion. Okay, so there is a new strategic resource that exists. Beryllium ore in the Uzun system. This is a new notification that pops up to let you know that a new strategic resource exists within the territory of neighbors. Alright, so another anomaly has popped up in the meantime as well. A Class 12 asteroid orbits this planet. The small planetoid's orbit appears far too stable for its presence to be a natural occurrence. Let's go ahead and research that. Well,
complete.
This is going to be an interesting start then, isn't it? Let's think. Let's go ahead and clear that because we need that energy. And then this citizen, let's go ahead and have you work on some mining. All right, that upgrade's still happening. So there'll be lots to do there once that's done. Lots to do, rather. One science ship is actually out in hyperspace at the moment. Then we have this anomaly, which is already being looked at. Very good. And a few others that are still challenging. Well, actually, those are challenging just to the scientists that I had selected. Hang on. Let's go back to the anomaly planner. Well, these are all based on the skill 3 scientist, which is our highest level. So never mind. We're going to wait until we've got a slightly higher level scientist before we take on the challenging anomalies. Straddle Station, I would like to get Hyperlane Registrars built. I would, but I think first and foremost I need to get the additional trading station built in the Pesh system. Let's go ahead and get that going. Because again, energy is about to be a problem. Minerals, not so much. Okay. You're exploring there, and is that it? That's the extent of your orders? Okay, well I need to give you more orders, don't I? Let's go ahead and survey. Finish serving Slough, survey Urkanon's Maw, and then let's have you go up here, please, and thank you. Because we need to figure out what's going on in this leg of the galaxy. Arm, leg, whatever you want to call it. By the way, funny story, the Milky Way totally has 4 arms. Back when Roma Galactica began, you might remember in episode 1 of the series, I said, well, we're going to make the Milky Way 2 armed because this is the Milky Way. I mean, if Sol's going to be there, then we need to have 2 arms. The Milky Way, when you look at a picture of it, it looks like it has 2. And conventional wisdom for a long time was that it has 2 arms. And actually, when I started Roma Galactica, a long time ago, I started it in it was supposed to be the Milky Way, and I had a 4-arm galaxy, because that is what I understood to be the case. And somebody pointed out, hey, it actually has 2 arms. And I remember at the time, what I did was I just looked at a picture. You know, I didn't like really deeply read. I did a quick like Google search and I saw a picture and I was like, oh, what do you know? Yeah, there's 2 arms coming off from the center. But actually it turns out there are in fact 4. So more recently, there was a mid-century roughly paper published saying that the Milky Way does in fact have 4 arms. So fun fact for those of you who didn't know. All right, let's go ahead and survey out this direction just to see what we might be able to find before the purifiers kill us all. And then we'll bring that ship back at the right time. You definitely need... See, I am going to go ahead and build this research station because it's going to be a while before we colonize that planet, and we can take advantage of those resources. That additional research help, for sure. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into a stable orbit around Wyfred 1. The massive engine sections and braking thrusters can still be found on the surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but these operations were seemingly abandoned shortly after they begun. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, we also have these still to build. Lots still to build, in fact. Why don't we get the mining station built there first?
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
What do we have? Good! Destroyer's done, and we can upgrade to Starhold as well. This seems like the correct choice. Although standardized Corvette patterns, going ahead and having this done could be a good idea as well. Why don't I go ahead and do that, because we're not at war yet. Chances are we will be very soon. Let me take a look at edicts really quickly. We still have Map the Stars. Yeah. Chances are... I mean, I'm amazed they haven't declared war against us yet. They have closed their borders to us, though. Let's go ahead and close our borders to them so they can't check out our territory. Right now, they are overwhelmed. Oh, wow. Okay, we need to build up quickly. I should have looked at that sooner. Okay, so our first destroyers need to get built right now. They need to get built yesterday. So let's have afterburners on our destroyers as well, if we can manage it. We'll have to see how this plays out. But a gunship bow is okay. Interceptor ship or gunship? Let's stick with this. That's fine. On the front of the ship, I'm okay with massive mass drivers. And then let's have a couple of lasers and then a pair of mass drivers on the back. They're all in a line, of course. Not always the case, but on this ship design, it is the case. Okay, and slightly better armor. And we're going to rename this to the... Yeah, I like Conagdur. This sounds a little bit more menacing. So this is the Conagdur Destroyer. And then what do we have? Is there anything else I need to change here? I don't think so. We'll eventually have point defense, and we'll need that as soon as possible. But next order of business is to go ahead and queue up 5 of those. And technically, I could go ahead and queue up... What I could do is have 10 of each Corvette. And that's my command limit. But at least that way we can start building a larger fleet that is able to stand up to whatever the fanatical purifiers might send my way. And they're going to probably try that pretty soon. So it's not the best time to be going over on our colony limit. But we're going to try it anyway. We're going to stick to our guns. Let's see. Why don't you come up here and we'll get a power plant for you. It's on Old Orin. That upgrade is done. Can I build a Betharian power plant yet? No, I haven't. I'm pretty sure I hadn't seen the research yet. I wasn't quite remembering if it popped up in episode 1. Also did do some test play for this series, so like there are a few like memories mixing up with my episode 1 memories from yesterday. Like, is that from episode 1 or from the game I was playing beforehand?
Complete.
But I didn't do much because I didn't want to see much of the new stuff.
Complete.
I didn't even take a close look at any like binary or trinary stars because I wanted to save that for YouTube. Anomaly found. By chance we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this moon. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? Have a look. Okay, why don't we get that mining station up? Alright, so young father Verpim, this is our heir. Has just leveled up. So that's good. How old is he right now? He's 40. On Tirdiel is 63. So this is her son. Presumably. Let's get a shipyard there.
Construction complete.
Okay, we need to get to Revok and build those. That needs to be a priority.
Construction complete.
Okay, now this guy, I mean, I would like to have a Hyperlane Registrar for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. Eventually we'll have more stuff, but I think I'll start with a Hyperlane Registrar. Oh yeah, lots of upgrades available. Let's start with Tirdiel, given that this is its first round of upgrades. We do want to have a mining network there for them. And then, again, energy needs to be what I pour my upgrades into first. An abandoned life pod was detected in close orbit of Wyfred 4A. It is covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded, and preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the HFC Kabandor managed to open the pod, revealing the withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of its claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, possibly a mate or a revered leader. That was always so touching. So, okay, so that just took 20 months off of this social research, which was good timing because that was our farthest project from being done, and we do need to get additional core systems if we can manage it. All right, map the stars just went away. Let's go ahead and get that back. We need it. We need it badly. And then it looks like we can go ahead and get that mining station done, and we'll be done with Eulasia. I would like to start exploring out this direction as well. So it's official, the Najagas Vale is not within our reach, so we need to go towards the Abanic Vale instead if we're going to get any kind of resources from mining a nebula. A colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with the surface of this moon once. This is Wyfred 7A. Wyfred seems like a big system. Wyfred's close to Tem and has a lot of resources for us, so we need to add that as soon as we can. Okay, let me clear this again, because we need that energy tile. Tem Prime is going to be done pretty soon.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Have they? Oh good, Sentinel Point Defense. We'll look at that in just a second. So improved deflectors, probably a good idea. Also improved survey speed also is going to be a good idea. Let's go ahead and go for improved deflectors just for pure defensive purposes. And destroyer-wise, let's get a picket ship built, shall we? Afterburners. We might not be able to stick with the afterburners, we'll see. Hello. There we go. All right, lasers or mass drivers? Or both. Let's have a mass driver up front and a laser on back. Why not? Okay, and then you will be the... I want to have the same suffix. Binamdur, I don't like that. Actually, yeah, I liked... Ubrildur. Oh, wait, what? That's not true. That's complete BS. Okay, well, never mind. We're not using that one. Ijimdur also says it's taken. It's not. None of these are taken. Why is this still a bug? Itrildur. Done. All right, so that's that. And now we're at our command limit, so we actually can't add those to the fleet just yet, but we will as soon as our command limit is a little bit higher. I'm so nervous we're going to get declared on like any second. If they're overwhelming compared to us, they are thinking about it. I'm telling you right now. They are already on the warpath. They're just preparing their plans.
Construction complete.
And we are in trouble until we get more ships built. So right now we can't stand up to them. I'm focusing on getting additional resources, but I need to stop in a second and actually build more ships. A large mineral-rich asteroid collided with Wyford 7A at some point during the previous 1,000 years in what must have been a major impact event. An abundance of minerals can now be found on the moon in the vicinity of the impact crater. A fortuitous event. Nice. So that's a very, very nice system. Let me go ahead and stop here. And in the next one, we're going to focus as much as possible on actually getting those new ships built and improving our core world capacity, because 10 Prime is going to be done in 8 months, and then we're going to see a bit of a drop in our income. Our income will go up a little bit in terms of energy, because again, we won't be building a colony, but yeah, a little bit dicey given that we made that slight error in forgetting about the core world count at the same time as running into a fanatical purifier neighbor. Yay! Again, this is just how things go, so we'll have to see how this proceeds from here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.